The Extreme Sailing Series is a global tour that brings the action right to the crowds. The competition is intense and hard fought.
Hey, what are you waiting for? Oh, I couldn't hear them!
Some of the world's best sailors, some of the world's most high-performance racing machines, locked in a battle for supremacy. Act 7 in Nice, France plays host to the penultimate round of the Extreme Sailing Series. For 3 days, 8 international teams will battle it out stadium style off the pristine shore of the French Riviera. Some epic sailing is on the cards.
It's beautiful conditions, it's going to be pretty full on. Windiest event probably we've had this year.
It's up to, I think, 28 knots of gust, so we struggle to survive on the race course.
Sailing on this blue sea here in the Med is beautiful, sunny, windy, gusty, oh, like now.
We're going to be holding on for dear life here.
It's going to be fun. No, it's good.
The crews are made up of some of the greatest talent in the sport. World champions, Olympic medalists, and stars of the America's Cup. They're all used to winning and won't give an inch.
Massive, but massive. Everything you got, Pete. Guys, we need the driver line in the middle.
Now they set their sights on the chance to claim the coveted Extreme Sailing Series trophy. After 6 acts in Asia, the Middle East and Europe, one team dominates. The Wave Muscat from Oman is skippered by British sailor Lee McMillan. He can be fiery and intense.
Come on, Peter! That's ridiculous.
And he's determined to close out this season on top.
It's been a really close season so far. We've managed to win 3 and come second in 2, so that has put us at the top of the leaderboard, but the experienced strong teams have been there right with us, and everyone is going to be gunning for us and trying to make sure that we don't run away with it, so it's going to be a really tough regatta for us here in Nice.
French team Groupe Eben de Rothschild started the season as favourites. They have a reputation for pushing hard, but results have not been going their way. They won here last year and need a repeat performance to head into the last event in the fight for a podium place overall.
Of course, we're concerned about these bad results, but every mistake you take lessons from. And we've been there last year after Boston and Cavs last year. We ended up in the same situation. It's just up to us to be able to jump back on a good result this event.
Sitting second in the overall rankings, the Wave Muscat stablemate, Oman Air. His skipper is the coolest customer on the tour.
My first year, it's a challenge coming out against a lot of these guys with vast cat sailing experience, but we've been off to a good start, and we got a pretty deep team as far as cat experience. Charlie Ogletree, with his Olympic tornado medals, and Will Howden, a couple seasons on the 40s, and from Oman, Nasser, really solid on the boat.
1 point behind Oman Air, Red Bull Extreme Sailing Team from Austria, led by double Olympic gold medal winner Roman Hagara.
I think there's a big chance always for us to win an act, and still 2 to come. The team is trying hard, and we are pushing for it.
They suffered here last year due to a nasty incident during racing.
Hans-Peter Sainacker is off the boat. Oh, that looks painful. Being dragged along the water.
We were leading after 2 days, and then Hans-Peter fell into the water. He injured himself, and he couldn't do the last 2 days, so we dropped back in the result, and hopefully he's not doing this again here, and he stays on board, so everybody stayed on the boat and safe. That's also one goal.
Despite the Wave Muscat's dominance so far, a bad result here would leave the door wide open. In 5th place overall, British entry GAC Pindar still have high hopes, even with just 2 acts remaining.
We're keen to try and get on the podium. It's eluded us so far. We've been very close. We were lying second going into the final race in Qingdao. and the guys were really close again in Cardiff. So it's been a bit frustrating, but I really think that the team's able to make that. It's just a matter of time and things slotting into place, really.
Newcomers SAP Extreme Sailing Team are loving every moment on this tour. They like to have fun, but their impressive form this season leaves no doubt that they are serious contenders.
We have a good team and we have a good time on the water and also off the water. I'm really happy with the people in the team. We are coming together very well, and I think that's going to make us strong in the long term. I definitely feel that we as a team mature and getting better and better. We're still positive that we next year can be a contender for the podium.
Thousands are here on the famous Promenade des Anglais to watch the stadium racing. Over the next 3 days, up to 30 races are planned. Each will last around 15 minutes, and every race counts. There are no discards. 8 points for a win, 1 for last.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And as racing begins, the breeze is building. This is what stadium sailing is all about. Red Bull sailing team have been the fastest out of the blocks at most events this year. Well, they were here too. Could this be the first event they stay at the top right to the end? Tour leaders, the Wave Muscat from Oman, were not yet delivering their usual form. And the French pre-season favourites were back to their 2011 best.
Another good performance and another win for Group Eben de Rothschild.
With 3 points separating the French, Austrian and Omani teams, the last race is set to decide which one of them wins the day.
Big breeze now, just on cue. One minute and there's a charge down towards the line. Boats coming in at speed, too fast, too early. Going to head to their right, but once you've turned, you're a target for the boats coming in. It's about finding a gap. GAC Pinder in a good position.
Wave Muscat, Red Bull, they're so close to the line. They've got no room to...
Oh, there's been a collision. Alinghi v the Wave. Alinghi just crashed into the wave.
Ooh, that looks ugly.
Alinghi just crashed into the wave. And Red Bull are over the line. They're in problems too.
Yeah, they pushed him around. Nothing they could do. SAP takes off.
There's a race going on, but the story at the moment, down by the start line. Alinghi crashed into the side. We've got 2 of the top 3 of the overall are floundering. That is the team that came into the day hoping for so much, and that is a broken boat. The Wave Muscat, look, behind the back beam is a split. That was the front of Alinghi that caused that, and we understand they're taking in water fast on board that boat.
With Red Bull and series leaders, the Wave, too damaged to continue, this could spell the end of the event for them. An incident with the potential to turn not only the act, but the entire series on its head.
We've got a big repair on our hands now overnight. It's obviously a critical point in the season, so it's very important that we can get back on the water and we can still win this event.
There's also a frank assessment from the expert shore crew.
It's quite substantial damage to the back of the Wave Muscat, so we're going to haul the boat out, stick it on the land and then have a go at repairing it overnight. It's a big section of boat to cut out.
And for Red Bull too, there's also major concern.
We have big damage and we have to work on the boats overnight, so it's a bit a shame.
It's a big old hole all the way around under the waterline, all the way up to the top, to the side, top of the deck.
Obviously, we don't want to lose any races. You lose races, you lose points.
We'll be struggling for the morning, but the guys will be doing everything they can to get us out.
See what we can do.
With the shore crews working to get their teams back on the water, it's going to be a long, hard night ahead. After one day of racing on the Extreme Sailing Series in Nice, repair crews have been working overnight mending broken boats, trying to get them back on the racetrack. The Wave Muscat and Red Bull Sailing team have had some good news. The jury have awarded them average scores for the races they missed. For others, point deductions mean frustration and further discussions with the umpires. So, Red Bull Sailing team retain the top spot, followed by Group Edmond and Rothschild and the Wave Muscat. 2 more days of racing to go. Down at the dock, the boats are ready to leave, and it's good news for the Wave Muscat.
It's been an all-night operation for the shore team, for Joe and Hilal and Mohammed, to get the boat back on the water, and they've done an outstanding job.
And for the boat leading this event by 1 point, Red Bull Sailing team also back racing. The Wave Muscat's impact on racing was immediate as they scythed through the fleet with a win in race 1. But the ones making the headlines were the home team.
Well, they're now top of the table. They're delivering top 3 performances race after race.
Allez!
As for Red Bull Sailing team, well, they seem to have lost their way. As the day reaches the halfway stage, the wind begins to increase.
4, 3, 2, 1. Line clear.
Red Bull seem to have the most pace out of the start.
Well, if we're going to make calls now, I like the look of GAC Pinder as they head up the first upwind leg. Yeah, I mean, the Wave Muscat have got themselves together there.
Off the start line, the fleet split as they look for the best breeze to power them to the mark.
Well, now it's critical as Alinghi round the top mark first. Big gusts as they went round, bear away from Alinghi. Bertarelli does bear away, he has the advantage. And Agara, that's more like it for Red Bull Sailing.
Alinghi did look undecided there, so they slowed down just because of too much movement, and Red Bull actually went around him.
And now that's Roman Agara saying, you have no overlap, I am going round. Perhaps he was saying quite the opposite, because Alinghi are on the inside.
And bad furl on both boats. Alinghi is going on in the inside. Spectacular rounding.
So Alinghi lead. Red Bull Sailing are, I would say, struggling to defend second. Again, it's the local boat with the black sails, Zulu. And heading up the other side, keep an eye on that, because it's GAC Pinder and series leaders, the Wave Muscat.
GC Pinder not looking bad at all on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you, Marcus. The green sail on the left, GAC Pinder. The light blue sail, the Wave Muscat. The mark dead in front of them, but they've got no right of way, and all the fleet are coming in towards them. It's going to be close. Wave Muscat dips down behind Alinghi, but can they find a gap? No, they can't. Oh, this is an expensive dip because of the left of picture. Pinder just had that extra space. And GAC will lead around the top mark. Well, I'll tell you what, there was only a boat length or so between them and the Wave Muscat. And that was the difference that squeezed GAC around the top mark. There they go. So GAC Pinder, who went the left-hand side of that upwind leg, big wind shift in their favour. And from being 6th, they've upgraded, and that is just how far ahead they are. And there's a real battle for second place. And the Wave Muscat, who were back to 7th, and look at this, it's extraordinary racing. And that must be the leg of the competition so far, one of them, because they've gone from 7th to 2nd.
But before they could celebrate too much, a protest flag from the Romani teammates.
No love lost out in the water between these two. The Wave paying the penalty for pushing too hard.
Absolutely.
The Wave Muscat were in 2nd. Penalty turn, they've got it all to do again.
From rags to riches and back to rags in one race. Twice, I think.
And it's GAC Pinder who will cross the line. Well, that's a victory to celebrate. Big shift helped them on their way, but as Ian Williams raises his hand in the air, victory for the British team. Group Edmond and Rothschild now leading the chasing pack. They're in second place at the moment. That'll do their score no harm at all.
What a calm finish for a wild race.
SAP finished third. It's Oman Air fourth, Red Bull Sailing fifth. And heading down towards the finish line, it's sixth for Lee McMillan on the Wave Muscat. Well, it's going to be interesting up at the top.
So the difficult day for Red Bull Sailing Team is in stark contrast with Group Eben de Rothschild as the home team takes charge here in Nice. With series leaders the Wave Muscat snapping at their heels, the final day is set to be another nail-biter as we head towards that all-important double points race. Competitors in this series have to be ready for anything, as sailing here is some of the most challenging in the sport. The teams have traditionally been dominated by men. But this year, two female stars of the sailing world have joined the tour. Olympic and world champion Anna Tunnicliffe of the USA has won World Sailor of the Year not once, but twice. 24-year-old British sailor Hannah Mills is also a world champion and won silver at London 2012. Together, they're bucking the trend.
I love just competing, and so competing with the guys it's just a different experience. But once you're out there racing and the clock's going and you're about to start, it's all the same regardless of who you're sailing with, and it's so much fun. And the guys are so good that I'm always learning, and it's just a great experience to do something different.
At the moment, there's not that many opportunities for women after the Olympic stuff, so I think it's definitely moving in the right direction.
If this is presenting opportunities for girls down the line to get into more high-performance extreme sailing, then that's great, and hopefully we can keep leading the charge for that to happen.
But here on the Extreme Sailing Series, it's an entirely new challenge.
I thought coming out of match racing, doing fairly short races and that I'd kind of have an idea, but this puts a whole new meaning to short course racing. It's just so intense the whole time and constantly changing, and sailing this close to shores make it really challenging tactically as well.
Absolutely love it. There's so many races that, regardless of the kind of random factor of the short races and the kind of close to shore thing, generally the best boat will come out on top.
The biggest challenge is just making the decisions that quickly. You come around a mark and you've got about 5 seconds to make a decision as to which mark you're going to round next. It's just, boom, your decision's got to be made, and you hopefully made the right one.
They're only too aware what's at stake.
A big day today. Points are really close at the top of the leaderboard. I think 14 points separate the top 5 boats or something. So it's going to be down to the wire today. We're looking for our first podium finish ever. That's our goal today, is just to climb up into the top 3.
We're right up there and got every chance of winning this event. Just want to keep it clean today and get a good result to count towards the overall series.
Day 4 in Nice, second to last act. Points are getting tight. Lee McMillan, obviously, and his team on the Wave Muscat, just a notch ahead of everybody in the overall picture. But Chitana, Group Edmund de Rothschild, they're really giving a big push here, and I know this is their home court advantage, so they want to win. They're sailing quite aggressive.
Last day in Nice, we are leading. Nothing is over until the last race, the double point race. So the goal is to sail the best as we can in the last race to win the event.
It's close, and the overalls, the margins are very small, so one little slip up here can open the door right up at the last event. We've got to really be absolutely on top of our game today.
Once again, the course here in Nice has been graced with ideal racing conditions. From the outset, it looked like the home team would run away with it, as they delighted local fans with inspiring back-to-back wins in the first and second races. But things weren't looking so comfortable for the French halfway through the day.
Heading up towards the top mark. On the left-hand side, GAC Pinder have the inside track, but can they get there in time to tack?
And a serious gust. Closing in there really fast, but now the Wave Muscat with right of way, that's gonna be ugly.
And now GAC Pinder trying to squeeze, Alinghi trying to squeeze in as well, Wave Muscat on the outside. Well, there could well be some protests there, because GAC have parked on the mark. Coming round the outside though, Group Edmund and Rothschild. What a sight that is. Big gust coming through. This could be exciting. Jenica out on the French boat. And 5 boats round the top mark together. Inside, Red Bull jibe straight away.
After the first rounding, it's the French who take the lead, but always under pressure.
And the boat that's popped out at the front is Group Edmund and Rothschild. The event leaders here in France sneaked round that mark, found a way through the pack and lead down towards the bottom gate. But it's still incredibly close, and the Wave Muscat are coming through too. Left of your picture, accelerating past GAC Pender. And Pierre Penick there looks back, and he looks straight into the eyes of Lee McMillan, who is chasing him on the scoreboard and chasing him here upwind. Big gust coming into now for Group Edmund and Rothschild. They're in the gust now. And accelerate that, flying a hull as they go round the green mark. This is going to be quite a downwind leg. Careful as they bear away. The bow digs in. Oh, they've got to be careful there. That was a good rounding.
With Group Edmund and Rothschild looking good for the win, the Wave Muscat are still on the hunt and have different ideas.
Brilliant move from Lee McMillan. Forced the French to jibe, and then when they did it, he jibed Jenica out. That was slick sailing.
That might be the lead for him. Group Edmund and Rothschild, not even the spinnaker up. They've got to do a turn.
And this could be a significant move in the overall standings. Wave Muscat, downwind, heading towards the finish. Marcus Bauer liked the look of the way they were sailing and thought this could be Lee McMillan's time to charge. He's delivering that promise at the moment as Lee McMillan and the Wave Muscat come down towards the finish. Victory for the Wave Muscat.
The resurgent Omani team sees the French early lead shrink to just 5 points. Going into the final race and with double points up for grabs, it's now a 3-way battle between the Wave Muscat, Group Edmund and Rothschild and Oman Air. But it seems the home team are in no mood to be broken.
It all comes down to this, the double points final race. Group Edmund and Rothschild looking comfortable. They head up towards the top mark. We'll slide back in a moment and look at the 2 Omani boats.
The 2 Omani boats, this is what we want to talk about. Looking at the scoreboard, it is so close between the two, point-wise.
And this is where they are. One boat, the Oman Air, are in a good position. They're holding on to second at the moment. And we'll look at the graphics and just see what they're telling us. Group Edmund and Rothschild lead, Oman Air behind, but look at the Wave Muscat heading up the middle of the course. So we'll just give you confirmation of that. If Oman Air finished second and the Wave finished 6th, Oman Air will get second place.
An error by Alinghi means the Wave Muscat are gifted the upgrade they've been looking for.
Alinghi has carried the gate mark. They've caught the gate mark and are carrying it away. And that could mean that the Wave Muscat, they're heading off to the other gate mark, that they make a serious gain in this race. They could be catching 4 boats right now.
3 boats lost ground. Lee McMillan saw the opportunity. He saw the gap. He jumped at it. And now McMillan is back into second place overall in the Wave Muscat.
But first place, well, that's ahead with the French, who round the final mark and head towards the finish in style.
This is the victory roll. This is the moment. They've led the competition for 2 days. And France win in France. Group Edmund and Rothschild are cheering. Winners of the Extreme Sailing Series here in Nice.
It's a great feeling, you know. The goal was to win this event, and finally we finally achieve our goal. So now it's a great result for the team, Group Edmund Rothschild. This year was really amazing event. A lot of breeze and the crowd on the shore. It's amazing, always amazing to come here and be able to win this event.
A bit disappointed not to win. Obviously, we want to kind of do it for the shore team after their heroic effort, putting the boat back on the water in such a short time, and really hoping to kind of do the job for them, but you know, we did our best. Second's still good, and you know, the focus is always on winning the overall series, and at every event so far this year we've just managed to extend our lead and on whoever's in second place, and we've done that again here. It's a priority, so we go into Rio in pretty good shape, and hoping just to bring it home.
So the French move up to third overall. The Wave Muscat defend top slot. Do that again next time and they will win the series. But can they? The Extreme Sailing Series heads for the finale, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where everything will be decided.